It's me, Vicky Marie. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. So I've come on at quite short notice to just give you this update about these two sisters missing in Aberdeen, part of triplets, Eliza and Henrietta. Now, there has been a little bit of an update today, and I just think it's getting more and more mysterious in one way, what has happened to these two sisters. For anybody who doesn't know, Eliza and Henrietta are two, would you call them twins? They're actually part of triplets. They're two of a set of triplets, sisters from Hungary originally, been living in Aberdeen in Scotland for the last 6 years, living there, working there, spoke to their families at Christmas and New Year, seemed like everything was fine. Their families said there was no reason to be concerned about them. But their third triplet did say, let's just have a closer look at them. Their third triplet, Edith, said that she had a premonition that something bad was going to happen. And you know, twins, triplets, etc., sometimes they get feelings about things, don't they? Anyway, just before I start, I'm just going to ask you to subscribe, please, to my channel, and then you'll get the updates of this case and any of the other cases we're covering. Also, don't forget to press notifications, because then you won't miss new information coming in. I want to say hi to everyone. I'm going to say hi to people in chat in a moment. I want to say hi to replay crew, and also hi to you lurkers. Anybody who's watching at any point in time, thank you for watching. Thank you for caring about these sisters. And also thank you for being my members. And thank you for buying me Ko-fis or sending super stickers or PayPal me. Any way that you support my channel, thank you. Okay, so yes, we've been looking at this case. It's been just over a week now, isn't it? It wasn't this Tuesday just gone, but a week last Tuesday. So it's been a week and a couple of days. These two women, for some unknown reason, early 30s, two sisters, working, didn't seem like there was any problem, but of course, we know that the police will be investigating more into that. Maybe they did have some mental health problems or whatever. But as far as their family were concerned, when they spoke to them at Christmas and New Year, they were fine. They were upbeat for the future. They were saving up to buy a property because they were renting a place together. They were saving up to buy their own property. No cause for concern. Now, originally, the police released this CCTV picture. This is on the actual night that these two sisters disappeared next to the River Dee. The problem is they disappeared next to a very fast-flowing river that could sweep people out to sea quite quickly. It's fast-moving, it's deep, it was freezing cold, it was snowing, it was ice. They went along a very dangerous footpath at 2 o'clock in the morning. And this is the question: what were they doing at 10 past 2 in the morning along that footpath? But anyway, you can see from this was the previous last CCTV that the police released, but we've got some new CCTV now to look at, though it's not from that morning, it's actually from the day before. So they look very purposeful, they're dressed warmly. One of them's got a bag slung over her shoulder. People seem to think that the other one is carrying a small bag as well. But they only had one phone with them. The other mobile telephone was back at their apartment or house. I'm not sure it's an apartment or house. So I'm going to say hello to the people that are in chat, and then we're going to look at the new CCTV that has been released by the police. But it's not from that particular evening, it's from the day before. So, hi Mike, hi David, hi Michelle from Glasgow, hi Gina, hi Claire, hi Tina, hi Yvonne Payne. Very mysterious case, Tina. So this, I mean, talk about, you know, sometimes cases are just mysterious. We don't know what goes on through people's heads, even if they may seem as if everything's okay, seem like these sisters on the surface to their poor families who are in Hungary. The rest of their family is in Hungary, so the rest of their family are having to go through this torture from miles away, wondering what has happened to these two women. The thing that strikes me as strange, apart from the fact of why were they out at 2 o'clock in the morning when it was freezing cold and icy, the other thing is why have no possessions been found? You know, if we presume, because to me it's looking more and more like these two ladies unfortunately did maybe unalive themselves, but what, they jumped in with all that, with their bags on, you know, they didn't take anything off, their scarves, nothing has been found, nothing, zilch, or as far as we know, as far as the police have told us, nothing has been found. Hi Vanessa from South Africa. Hi Kathy from Arizona. It just shows you when these cases are so mysterious as this, it attracts attention from all over the world, doesn't it? And you know what? It's like, do you know, I think the cases that attract this sort of attention, it's because it's people doing what are seemingly normal things, or they're, you know, when total mysteries, walking your dog by the river and disappearing. You know, why were these ladies out at 12 in the morning? You know, why did it seem to their family everything was fine? You know, was there no clues to this? Now, we don't know if the police have looked into the phone that was left behind at the apartment, and maybe they have found some clues on there. We don't know that. We won't find that out. But still, to me, the biggest mystery is nothing has been found. Nothing. Not the handbag, not the scarves, not the coats or whatever. So I mean, that if they did get into that river voluntarily, they just went in there with all their possessions. That's unusual, because we've looked at some cases of people unaliving themselves recently, and they normally leave some things on the bank. They don't normally go into the river with everything with them. So yeah, it's very, very, very strange. It was 10 past. It was 10 past 2, Laurie. Yeah, it was after 2. It was 10 past 2 in the morning. That was on the Tuesday morning, but the date now, what's emerging is the police have got CCTV of them the day before, in the afternoon, in the middle of the day, at the same place. So this is the CCTV that now the police are showing us all. So it's the same path. Now it's a little bit away from the river, isn't it? Is it? I mean, it doesn't seem to be right in this particular image anyway. You know, you wouldn't fall into the river from there. You would have to, you know, it's not right next to it. So to actually fall in the river would be a bit of a stretch. But this is what the police have released now. They're saying that the day before these poor girls disappeared, again, they're dressed up all warmly. To me, they look like they're well dressed. You know, as I say, it's not just, you know, tracky bottoms and what have you. Like, it's not even casual dress. It's a nice coat, a nice jacket. Looks like nice boots they've got on. One's got a bobble hat on. Is she on the phone there, or it's hard to say. They're, you know, you cannot. I'd look. You know, you'd love to be a fly on the wall and hear their conversation. Are they really possibly doing like some sort of a practice run that day, having a look at the area and calculating how they can throw themselves in the river? Now, they weren't seen interacting with anybody else, so they didn't interact with anyone else on this day. Let's see what the police have actually got to say about it. So this is the Police Scotland website. CCTV footage confirms two sisters missing in Aberdeen made an earlier visit to the bridge where they were last seen. So CCTV footage has confirmed, it's exactly the same thing, that they made an earlier visit to the bridge where they were last seen. Now, these two sisters, part of triplets, 32 years old. I mean, to me, I always think of early 30s, it's like the prime of your life, complete prime, because you've gone through all the angst of the teenage years, and, you know, in your 20s, you're normally still quite, you know, not sure of where you're going in life, what's happening. I'm only talking about my own personal experience. When you get into your 30s, you start to have more of an idea of things, you know, where you're going. You start to think more about what you want out of life. You feel more confident in yourself, you know, because I think the teenage years and early 20s, it's all angst, isn't it, about what you look like, trying to impress other people. You know, and I think as you get older and you get into your 30s, you don't care so much about what other people think of you. You start to develop your own identity. That's my impression, or that's how it was for me. So it's quite sad, isn't it, that in their 30s, where they're sort of approaching the prime of their life, really, that this, whatever it is, should happen to them. You know, and there are a few different scenarios. Have they put themselves in the river? Did someone push them in the river? Did one push the other one in the river and then jump in? Did one slip into the river and the other one went in after them? But anyway, this is an important development, I think, that they were seen the day before. They were seen the day before. It's almost, were they doing a trial run? Or were they, you know, were they going to do something then, but maybe there were too many people around? Because in the middle of the day, there are a lot of people around. Maybe they chose to do it at 2 o'clock in the morning because they knew there wouldn't be anybody around. Anyway, investigations into their disappearance have now confirmed both women were seen at the same bridge at around about 2:50 p.m. on Monday, the 6th of January. CCTV shows that Eliza and Henrietta spent 5 minutes at the footpath and the Victoria Bridge, but they did not engage with anyone else. You know, what were they doing there? Were they thinking about it? Can you imagine that conversation? Oh, yeah, we could jump in here, or where's the best place to enter the river? I mean, just very difficult for me. I know people do it and people do it all the time, but I really find it hard to get my head around that you would go out to maybe because I don't like the cold, you would go out into a freezing cold night and enter a freezing cold river. You know, it just seems so unpleasant. You know, there are other ways to do it if that's what you want to do. So officers are now appealing for anyone who may have seen the sisters at this earlier time. Now, they weren't seen with anyone else then. Now, of course, they could have met up with someone else later. May eventually emerge that there's more footage of them, maybe engaging with somebody else. But at the moment, the police have got nothing, no CCTV, etc., to say that they were engaging with anyone else. Sorry, just something occurred to me then while I was talking about it, which I'll tell you about in a minute. So after visiting the bridge, the sisters are then seen on CCTV making their way through the city centre via the Union Square shopping centre back to their flat in the Charlotte Street area of Aberdeen. So they've seen them on CCTV doing all that. There is nothing to indicate that they left their flat again until shortly before they were last seen at the River Dee in the early hours. And Eliza and Henrietta have not been seen or heard from since the sighting of them around 2:12 on Tuesday, the 7th of January, and searches are continuing. Now, this is interesting too. This is something that the police haven't said before. We were worrying or wondering how like they were saying landlord, but it's a landlady, it turns out. A text message was sent from Henrietta's mobile phone now we don't know, is that the phone that they had with them, or is that the phone that was left at the flat? See how the police are drip feeding this information. But anyway, from Henrietta's mobile phone, a text message was sent at 2:12. That's where they're getting this preciseness of 2:12 from, on Tuesday the 7th of January, so 2:12 a.m. at the time the girls disappeared. From the area of Victoria Bridge, indicating they would not be returning to the flat. So now we've got the answer of why the landlady was so concerned, because you wouldn't go to the police because your tenants said that they were going to vacate your property, would you? But you would if you get a text message at 2:12 in the morning. Why would they send that message at that time saying they would not be returning to the flat? So this is more than they were going to vacate the flat. This is they would not be returning. Now, this makes me wonder, it just occurred to me then, is that these women who sent that text, or somebody else sent that text? It wouldn't be the first time we've heard of people using people's mobile phones to send a text pretending to be someone. Why would you, like, if you were going to unalive yourself, why would you bother, to be honest, telling your landlord or landlady you were going to vacate the flat? Would you really be bothered doing that? If your mind is on removing yourself from this earthly plane, would you really care about sending a message at 2:00 in the morning to your landlord or landlady? So this is obviously then what's caused the consternation from the landlady. She's then probably been concerned, gone round to the property, saw that all the stuff is still there and thinking, why have they sent this message to say they're not coming back, but all their stuff's still here? So, that makes me wonder, who did send that message? Was it the girls? Or has someone else sent that message who's, is there some foul play and someone's got control of Henrietta's mobile and sent a message to the landlady saying, oh, we're not coming back to the flat? Anyway, the phone was then disconnected from the network. So I think that's relevant as well, disconnected from the network and has not been active since. So did they really? I mean, I'm not saying they didn't, because everything's possible in this mad world that we live in. Did they really go down to the riverside, why would they send their landlady a message and not their family a message? Wouldn't they send a message to say, we're sorry, or we just can't go on any longer, or, give their family some respite, if you like, from worrying about what's happened to them. Let their family know what they were planning to do. Why would they contact their landlady? That actually makes me think maybe it wasn't them. But anyway, I don't know. And the following day, the sisters' personal belongings were found inside the flat, and the landlady reported her concerns to police. So, yeah, if you were a landlady or landlord and you at 2:00 in the morning got a message from reliable tenants, to all intents and purposes, they're reliable tenants, they weren't in debt, they didn't owe rent, would you, as far as we know so far, would you at 2:00 in the morning, 2:10 in the morning, send your landlady a message and say, oh, we're not coming back? Seems a strange thing to do to me. Even if you were about to unalive yourself, why would you even bother doing that, that would be the last thing on your mind, telling your landlady you weren't coming back. Now, it's just if someone got control of Henrietta's phone, maybe that landlady was in the phone under landlady. If they've got command of Henrietta's phone and they're looking through the messages, etc., maybe they've seen messages going between Henrietta and the landlady, and they've just thought, oh, we'll send that. This will. It wouldn't be the first time that a perpetrator of a crime has used somebody's mobile phone. We've seen it many, many times. Use someone's mobile phone to try and lead people the police in a certain direction. So send a message and say, oh, we're not coming back to the flat. Now, maybe there's more to that message that the police haven't told us. Maybe they said, or we're going back to Hungary, or maybe they said more, but the police won't give us everything, will they? So it's very interesting that. So on that CCTV at 2:50 p.m. on Monday, they were both wearing rucksacks, apparently. Let's have a look. Yeah, let's have a look a bit closer. Hope you're all okay in chat. I'm going to come back to chat in a minute. Just make sure you're okay. Let's have a look again. Yeah, so they've both got rucksacks on. What have they got in their rucksacks? Whereas on that other picture, the last picture, they're not wearing rucksacks. This sister, I don't know which is Henrietta and which is Eliza, but she's got a bag around her shoulder, and there's some people are thinking this is a bag there, which it may be. I think it's difficult to tell. But again, wrapped up warmly. I think they're dressed a bit more smartly here, aren't they? Then on the other one, it's more casual. You've got the bobble hat on, and well, I say it's more casual. Actually, they've got the same coat on and that. Same coats on, just with the rucksacks rather than... Yeah, they've got the same jackets on, haven't they? Same jacket, same coat, but they're in opposite position. So in this one, in this picture, the woman nearest to, or the one on the left of the picture, is the one with the shorter jacket on. And the one on the right of the picture is the one, it looks like a sort of camel coat, what I would call a camel coat. Whereas on this picture, they're the other way around. But of course, their hair looks the same. I mean, at the end of the day, they're twins. So I don't really know which one's which there, which one's Henrietta and which one's Eliza. I'm sure a family would be able to tell the difference, maybe. Yeah, she's got the same red scarf on here, hasn't she? She's got that same red scarf on here. And the other one, maybe has got this same scarf. But on the picture of them actually going down to the river on the day they disappeared, the morning they disappeared, they don't have a bobble hat on. The lady with the shorter jacket hasn't got a bobble hat on. And they're not carrying rucksacks. She's carrying this bag over her shoulder and her possibly carrying a smaller bag. So maybe, now in Hungary, on the social media in Hungary, where the girls come from, they have been saying that they were out partying and that. But the police here in Scotland, they have said categorically, no, the girls were not out partying. They were at home, and they went from their home to the riverside. They were not out partying. So, hi Tara. Hi Michelle. Hey, they could be somewhere in a tent. Do you know what? Nothing's crazy in this world, is it? I don't think any of it is, anything, anything is beyond the realms of possibility. Hi, Junior. Hi, Spectre. Yeah, somebody was saying that. Hi, Vanessa. I think I already, a smiley. Yeah, it is. This honestly is a complete mystery. So don't, at the end of the day, don't be worrying that you put in anything out there that might not be, it might be a bit, nothing is, anything's possible. Hi, BF. Yes, they could have been part of a group or a club or something. So it's, personally, now I'm thinking, would, who would? Who would? I mean, the police may well have more CCTV images. They're still saying the police, they didn't engage with anybody else. They've got no CCTV of them, according to the police. This is what they're saying. Whether it's true or not is another matter. The police will tell us what they want us to hear. There's no CCTV of them meeting up with other people or being part of a club or anything like that. And of course, still 2 o'clock in the morning, 10 past 2 in the morning, for people who supposedly, according to their family, don't drink or take drugs. Why would they be out at that time in the morning? But now this text message, they're talking about this text message, that actually has made me start to think maybe somebody else sent that text message. It's like, reminds me a bit of the David and Anna Knežević case in Spain. He had her mobile phone. He sent text to her family and friends to say she'd met someone and she was going off to stay with them for a few weeks and the blah, de blah, de blah. When someone who's done something to somebody takes control of their device, they can send these messages. And maybe that's a bit of a red herring. If somebody did something to these sisters and then, or took them off somewhere and then said, sent the message to the landlady, oh, we're not coming back to the flat, to create a distraction. That's a possibility, isn't it? And maybe the girls are okay somewhere, or maybe they've been kidnapped, or maybe they have gone off of their own volition. I mean, people do that. It's unusual, but they do that. It never felt right with Anna Knežević when her family got those messages from her saying she'd met someone on the street and had an instant connection, and she'd gone to stay with him at his summer home near Madrid. It never felt right to her friends and family. They said she would never have done that, just gone off with somebody she didn't know. Now, it's interesting, these girls' family are saying that as well. They didn't know anything about them cancelling this tenancy. As far as they knew, they were sharing that accommodation. They were both working. They were saving up for somewhere to live permanently, to buy a place. So why has this come completely out the blue? And if they have gone into the river voluntarily, to unalive themselves, where are their possessions? Why has nothing been found? I think, maybe that's more encouraging because although, it's hard to find bodies in a fast flowing river like that, and they could easily have been swept out to sea. Normally, when people do things like this, other cases we've looked at where people have voluntarily gone into a river, they do leave their clothes at the side of the water, or some of their clothes, or some of their possessions. We saw it with Victoria Taylor not long ago. She left quite a lot of things on the bank of the river that the police found, and then eventually, very sadly, they did find Victoria in the water, and seems like she did unalive herself for whatever reason. It must have been a mental health reason. But yeah, Gaynor Lord, any of these cases where people do it deliberately, they normally leave some possessions on the side, don't they? Would you get really, if we look at this last photo, I mean, it's difficult to imagine unaliving yourself in a freezing cold river anyway, but would you really get in the water with all that on you, like your scarf on, your bag round your shoulder, your phone in the bag, etc. Oh, anyway, it's a horrible case for the family, especially they're miles away, worrying about, worrying about what's happened to these sisters. They're loved, part of triplets. They've got another brother as well. Their parents are worrying about them. I don't know if their parents are planning and coming over from Hungary. They're probably just waiting for. It's not as easy as that, is it, to just jump on a plane and go somewhere? It costs money, not only for your flight, then you've got to stay somewhere. Where they're going to stay. Yeah. Very, very mysterious case this is. Very, very mysterious. Yeah, Mike. So the last text that was sent, I think that's how the police, I don't know if there's a time on this CCTV footage, or is that where the police are getting this very precise time of 2:12? Is that from the text? Where did they send the text? They're not texting on this picture. So what, did they wait till they got by the river, or did they walk down by the river, get attacked, get their bags stolen, then somebody else sent the text? It's a real mystery. I think this a real mystery. Or they could have, let's hope and pray, though, it's a bit selfish, but people do it. Did they, remember Hannah Kobayashi? Have they just, met someone, got in a vehicle and just gone off, decided to go off somewhere? It's, yeah. Tara, I don't like blaming it on illegals, because until we know anything, it's not really fair, because we just don't know. We don't know for sure anything. So we have to wait and see. But I think the police, they've got to know more, haven't they? Don't you think? I think the police probably know more. And yeah, as always, they'll drip feed us the information. So let's see. So this is the latest thing he said. Several hours of footage are being examined. So it takes time, doesn't it, to examine CCTV footage? So the thing is, you've got to sit and trawl through all the CCTV footage, probably days of it they're going through. They've got dash cam footage from the public will be handing in, door cam footage, private CCTV footage, maybe that people have on their vehicles or whatever. Well, so they're assimilating information all the time. So he said that the Superintendent David Howison, he's quite good, wasn't he? We watched the press conference he gave, and he was, when I say good, he seemed to give as much information as he could, without giving, at the end of the day, it's an investigation, isn't it? So several hours of footage are being examined by a dedicated team of officers, and we have so far established that Eliza and Henrietta were at the footpath next to the River Dee at 2:50 on Monday, the 6th of January. Although the sisters didn't engage with anyone else at this time, the area would have been busy, so there will have been people that saw them. And you know what? People would have noticed them. If you see twins, you would notice, would you? If you saw people who were, because you sort of look twice, wouldn't you? Think, oh God, they look alike, and then be, oh my God, they're twins, because they are very similar. So hopefully somebody will have noticed them. So he said, please think back. Did you notice anyone matching their description? And after returning home, there is nothing to indicate that Eliza or Henrietta left their flat again until shortly before they were last seen at the River Dee. Extensive enquiries are ongoing, and I would again stress there is nothing to suggest any suspicious circumstances or criminality. Well, he keeps saying this. So yeah, any information, Contact Police Scotland on 101, quoting incident number 0735, Tuesday, the 7th of January. Oh, I hope somebody does come forward with something to put this poor family out of their misery. I don't think there's a video of his interview, but I'll just have a quick look of what he's come out with today. Anyway, if there is, I'll find it later. What's this? Oh, hang on, let's have a look at this. So this week.
Consigue tu dominio hoy con GoDaddy. ¿Quieres llevar tu proyecto a internet? Registra.
I'm desperate to solve the mystery of what's happened to missing twins.
No, this is the same video that we watched, isn't it? But still, actually, we'll watch it again because it's interesting to see how the river is. Doesn't look like you could fall into it, but maybe you could and get caught up in the weeds or the mud or whatever. And of course, it's thawed out now. We'll watch this and then I've got to go and have lunch.
The missing twins, Elijah and Henrietta Housty. They were last seen in this area in Aberdeen at about 2 a.m. on Tuesday, the 7th of January. A massive police, land, sea and air search operation has failed to find any trace of the sisters.
Oh, hang on, I've got to
the search continues, as does the quest for answers in what has become an incredibly baffling case. CCTV captured them walking across that bridge behind me as they then headed down a footpath towards the icy River Dee. After that, no one knows where they went or what happened to them. It's emerged that they told their landlady days before that they wanted to give up their flat in the city centre, but police have been unable to find any evidence they intended to harm themselves or even wanted to leave the city. But what they've not been able to work out is why on earth the girls were here at that time. It's very busy just now, but at 2 o'clock in the morning,
yeah, you know, I think that is the crux of the matter of this, is what were they doing there? Now, somebody was saying there, maybe one of them had, so of course the police will be looking at that. Had they been on Plenty of Fish or something like that and arranged to meet someone, and the other one going for like moral support? But again, why at 2 o'clock in the morning? You know, I mean, I know everybody has different lifestyles, but if somebody had said, you know, if you were on Plenty of Fish or one of those dating websites and they said, oh yeah, let's meet down by the icy freezing cold river at 2 o'clock in the morning, you'd be thinking whatever, you know, you just so I don't know, unless they were meeting someone they already knew. You know, sometimes at the end of the day they had no children, they've got no pets, so they're free to go wherever they want at whatever time they want.
Be really quiet and obviously very dark. Is this where Eliza and Henrietta ended up that night? Police say they're working on a strong theory that the girls might have gone into the River Dee. They're captured on CCTV. They walk towards the water. They're never seen again. There were noises that night that were picked up by the CCTV that could be screams. It could be a woman screaming out in the night. Police are unable to be 100% certain.
100% certain. I love the Scottish accent. 100. Yeah, so of course they haven't told us what they've picked up audio-wise, because they've picked screams have been heard, but you know, again, they're not 100% certain that the screams were connected with the sisters' disappearances. If it's true, like some people have said, that this is a place where maybe homeless people hang out or whatever, but again, why were they even there? That's what I just keep going around in circles and thinking, what were these two women doing here?
The noise is the girls or that's even connected to them. They are working on one theory that they might have somehow managed to get out of here without showing up on camera again. Is that even possible? That's something that they're looking at. But what is certain is that in the week since they were last seen, their mobile phones have not been used and there has been 0 transactions on their bank account. Eliza has not turned up for work as a hotel cleaner in Aberdeen, and Henrietta's not clocked on at the coffee shop where she works in a shopping centre in Aberdeen. Their family over in Hungary are anxiously waiting for updates, and police are saying that if you know anything, if you've seen them that night, or if even you've been in contact with them since that night, please let them know. Everyone is desperate to bring this mystery to an end, and to get some answers. David, why are we here today on the banks of the...
Okay, we listened to this a couple of times, so I'm not going to listen to this. This was the press conference from the other day. Okay, so that's where we are. Thank you for caring about these two sisters. I've got to go now. I've got a lot of things to do, but I'll tell you what, any updates on this case, I will be back, because this is a real mystery, and we're going to follow it through, and we're just praying for their family that they get some answers, and hopefully they're positive answers. It's not beyond the realms of possibility that there might be positive answers in this case. It's very unusual for two women to disappear together or to unalive themselves together. I know they're triplets, they'll be close, and whatever pain one is going through, the other one might be going through it as well. But there's still hope here. But now I'm starting to worry about this last message, and I'm wondering, did they even send that message, or did somebody have control of the mobile phone and send the message? So I don't know. Now, don't be falling out. What does this button do? Mike was just making a comment, a sarcastic comment. It would, how romantic if somebody's asked you to meet. It's just a comment. We don't argue on this channel. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, and then you'll get, and press the notifications. Then you'll get your updates on the case. Just prayers. Yeah, I'm going to put, I should be lighting a candle actually, but I'll see you soon in the next video. And until then, may your God go with you. Thank you.